Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Chamber Within. Today, I want to talk about the third eye chakra. I want to contribute to this conversation because what I sometimes hear about it, I cannot relate to, so I'll share my experience of it and therefore my personal understanding. Now, whenever the idea of the third eye is mentioned, I hear about being able to see through the illusion of society and the ways in which we are taught, and I get that understanding. I really do. But here is my insight, no pun intended. So for me, the third eye side is what is seen when my physical eyes are closed or when they are open and I get an overlay. So when my physical eyes are closed, like if I were to close them right now, there is no input, right? I'm on my way to sleep. I'm shutting one of my senses down, and I am relaxing. So I do not see my desk, my computer, nothing. When I am in a state of being to which I can receive an image or a frame, which is a moving image of about a second or two, this is what I mean by my third eye. And I can never just be like, oh, I'm going to receive an image. It happens when it needs to happen. I can't force anything. It is just something that is revealed to me for whatever reason deemed important. So the first time I was able to meditate and experience this, it frightened me because I was no longer on my couch, as I've said in the past. The image was from when I was smaller and was a reshowing of what I experienced as a child, which was me running toward my father at the front door. It was just a second or two, so it was as if that moment was recorded and then played back from my personal point of view. I now know that it is, right? So we are recorders of experience and a collection of these moments. I can only imagine are for some later playback purpose. Perhaps it goes into our personal vault, like a spiritual photo album or movie. Perhaps this is for the life review that many who have had near death experiences describe. But it was me as a child, again, from a memory I had long forgotten. And it really seemed insignificant, but I am sure running lovingly toward a parent is no small interaction in the eyes of the divine. Now, when I have my eyes open and I receive an overlay of my physical sight, it is typically a flash in my mind, like a flashcard revealed and then taken away. And it comes in the form of direction, like when I saw a bookshelf and knew that I should go to a bookstore, and that's when I found Ask and It Is Given, the book by Abraham Hicks. Now, another time I had an overlay of my sight was when I was thinking about religion and believers and non believers. I was thinking perhaps, no one is separate from God, and the difference is in the distance we may feel from His presence, the presence of all there is, God's source, Him, her, however you describe um, the Creator. And right after I had this personal inner thought to myself, and I was not speaking out loud, it literally was an inner thought. I saw an image. I cannot understand it, but I never forgot that image. All right, now I'm thinking some people are cold, some people are warm, some people are loving, some people are hateful. What's going on? So perhaps it literally is just about distance, like a distant family memory. We're related still, but we're not close. We're not that cool. And that was what my thinking was. Now, I saw an image. Keep that in mind. 6 months later, I picked up Alchemy by Paul Selig, and I began reading his books, um, the series and all of that. And the word monad kept coming up in this spiritual channeled text. So much so, and so often that I was like, you know what? I will Google this word. And it was the image that flashed in my mind 6 months prior. while my eyes were open. This was the overlay. This was the image I saw in my mind, and it was a circle with a dot in the center. When I questioned why are some people cold and others not, the distance was not too far off, but the important part of that answer is that we are not disconnected from source. The definition of the monad is this. This is what I Googled. In Gnostic Christianity, between the 2nd and 4th centuries, the monad is the supreme, unknowable, and immaterial source of all reality, often called the One, the ineffable parent, or the Father. It is the absolute beginning from which all divine beings emanate to form the pleroma, or fullness of the Godhead. The word Gnostic, because it was described as in Gnostic Christianity, so I'm describing the word Gnostic for you. Gnostic refers to possessing esoteric, mystical, or spiritual knowledge rather than mere intellectual understanding. To be completely honest, this experience shocked me. After I Googled and got the exact image I saw in my mind, I put my phone down and I was just in awe. Because how? How did this all reach me? I'm very much the type that needs to sit with new information like this, to absorb it, understand it, and integrate it finally over time. But really, it wasn't new. Because I saw it in my mind. I was given information, or I saw it, and then I had, a book that explained it. What was happening, I realized finally that my spirit, my everlasting body, not my physical body, at the time knew more than this, 40 years old at the time. It knew more than my 40-year-old body did. Of course, right? This isn't my first go round, apparently. Also, there's help along the way, and I appreciate that more than I could ever express. But this overlay that I'm speaking of, it was like, I'm trying my best to describe it. It was like if you were to have your eyes open and have a memory or a daydream about something that you are seeing through that memory, through that thought, like, oh, that birthday party or that belt that was so nice in the store, just something random. That's how it showed up, like a memory. The third eye is an image you receive internally from the hidden knowledge within you. And when I experienced this for the first time, I'm telling you, I was not looking for it. I began to read, like I say a lot, I try to understand what was happening. I didn't go searching about chakras and all these things. That wasn't my thing, right? I was consumed with going to school as an adult and working and all these things. I had different goals at the time. I'm looking for outside knowledge, and the whole time I had inner knowledge. And for some reason, it was being shown to me. Your soul knows your journey and what you can handle, what you signed up for, what you need to experience, and what you're strong enough to go through and survive. But I just wanted to just take a moment and just kind of sit with this experience, because I had no one to share this with. Like, hey, have you ever, like, what do you say? Have you ever had an image in your mind you never thought about? And then a couple months later, you get an answer as to what that thought is, but it's about nothing anyone probably cares about, because it's talking about a very divisive topic such as God. Yeah, exactly. Like, who do you go to for that? And so I just wanted to share my experience of the third eye, because it's not about kind of like for me, it's not a divisive way of seeing, oh, this one is awake, this one's not awake. This one is a good person, this one's not a good person. Everything is evil, just fear and suffering and mayhem. It's not like that. It is seeing what is reality, what is the truth of all things, how we are not separate, how we are all connected, how we need each other, how we're all related. It cuts through all that illusion for sure. There are different lessons for us for sure. The distances from source for sure, I guess. But for those of us who are going deeply within and wanting to know, there is something to look forward to. Perhaps I'm speaking about my own self, or I'm speaking on behalf of others like me, but knowing that there is way more beauty, way more than you can imagine. Um, this is for you. So, if you have ever experienced third eye meditation or a particular overlay, or have seen things with your eyes shut, I would love to hear about it. I love comparing notes and hearing other people experiencing the greater parts of themselves that aren't too common. You can contact me at thechamberwithin@yahoo.com, or you can leave a comment on my YouTube page. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I will talk to you later. Have a great week ahead. Bye-bye.